Hello there, I've been watering my Japanese maples this morning. They needed a good water. It's been about 2-3 days, probably 3 days since I last watered them. The pots were getting a little bit dryish at compost, so they've had a good water. But I'm going to show you how I water the trees every few days. As you can see, this is a dissectum. This is quite wet there now. One of the reasons is I haven't just watered the soil, I've literally washed the whole tree. Because we get a lot of horse chestnut scale bugs, and I'll show you them in a second. And also we're at the time where we start to see some caterpillars as well, which eat the leaves. Bear with me. Now I'm going to show you how I wash this tree. This is our Acer folium. Now this one has a lot of horse chestnut scale bugs. I cleaned the whole tree early spring with a brush, dry brush, and I got basically all of them off. But they keep coming back, and they come from the ground, and I think the ants farm them as well. Excuse me. So I'm going to start at the base of the tree, and as you can see, those brown marks with the cotton wool balls underneath them, they're busy laying the eggs. The white is the eggs, and as you can see, they're like a brown colour, the horse chestnut scale bugs themselves. Now on a darker branch tree, they're quite hard to spot. It's quite easy to spot on this tree because it's more of a pale bark. So these numbers can increase over so many days, and they supposedly do suck a little bit sap. So I'm going to start at the base of the tree, and what you need to do is set a spray on your hose pipe. That's not too strong, that's going to damage your leaves and whip them off. You want a spray that's firstly not going to damage your leaves, but just strong enough to wash those bugs off. Sometimes you have to hold the spray on them for a second or two, because they have a good grip, some of them. And you get a little bit closer to give it a little bit of a more powerful spray. Bear with me. And obviously work your way around all the bark. This tree isn't too bad today. So you're just literally looking over all the bark at the bottom, round the back, and work your way up. Obviously they love to hide here in the start of the branching underneath. Just work your way up to each individual branch, but at the same time you're spraying the underneath of the leaves. Now a lot of insects and pests will hide under the leaves themselves. Caterpillars like to do that, or sandwiched between leaves. So you're just basically washing. Aim for the actual branches themselves, and by then you're mainly hitting a lot of the underneath of the leaves. So I start by the bottom because I'm not getting as wet. If I started from the top, the tree would be dripping wet, and I get quite soaking. So literally, it's just standing back. I'm a little bit closer than I normally am, but you can get in to the main branching and trunks. And you're just literally trying to wash the underneath of the tree, hoping to get off any aphids, catapillars, and obviously when you concentrate on the bark itself, you're taking off more of the Horse Chestnut Scale Bugs. Now you're not going to get everything off in one go, so every few days if you do this you can keep the numbers down, because if you just water the base of the tree, the bugs up top, especially the Horse Chestnut Scale Bugs, just build up and build up, and it's not going to do your tree much good health wise over the whole year. So it's a little bit awkward with one hand here holding this tablet. So if we come out here, you can see a lot of this bark is quite generally quite clean. Some trees in the garden have been quite full of Horse Chestnut Scale Bugs this morning, but because I'm keeping on top of these ones, the problem's not as bad as some of the other trees, or if I hadn't sort of washed the tree. Same as up the top, everything that I can see with branching gets a bit of a wash, and if I can spot any, I go a little bit closer, wash them all off. What you want to get is into all the branching at different angles round the back as well, because they like to hide in the shaded spots of part of your tree as well, excuse me. The shaded parts of your tree where it's cool. Like I said, get underneath all those leaves, give them a good wash, because the aphids, they like to hide in the base of the new leaves as well. They can gather in clumps sometimes, but generally overall this year I haven't seen any aphids. Maybe it's a little bit early. Last year was very bad. A lot of the trees suffered. The aphids don't seem to like this tree, with obviously the larger leaves. The dissector next to it was badly hit last year. I do this with all the potted trees as well. It's a little bit easier with them ones because you can turn them round, pull them out and turn them round as well. But so you get the general idea of what I'm doing. I'm going in, checking all the branching, washing everything I can of the branching first, and also at the same time I'm washing most of the underside of the leaves, and the upper parts of the leaves as well get a wash. So 5 minutes of that or so, and you'll find that your ground underneath your tree is usually wet enough that you don't usually need to water it anymore, unless it's really thirsty in the middle of summer. But washing your tree is basically the way I'm doing it. Well, I've done it for a few years now, 2 or 3 times a week in the hotter months. And at the same process, you literally water on your tree. You're not just standing at your tree, water on the bottom, then leaving the rest of the tree. I'm doing two jobs at once really. I'm washing it, combating the bugs, but also the trees getting watered at the same time. So I'm going to finish doing a little bit more the underneath here, and I'll leave it there. This is a good wash. In a few days, 2-3 days, if the sun and the winds continue, a couple of days I'll possibly give a little bit of a water around the base of the tree. I won't wash it. And if we have a little bit of rain in the meantime, I'll probably just wash the tree again in about 3 to 4 days, depending on how warm and if there's much wind. But you can gauge that by your pots. If your pots are starting to look dry, the compost, I tend to do whole garden again. And obviously I don't like the pots to go 2 or 3 days without too much watering. If they start to dry up, I'll try to keep them damp, all the compost. So maybe 2 days before I give them a little water as well. So I hope that helps a little bit. Excuse the wobbling of the video. Alright, bye for now.